Facebook. Morning, Facebook. This is Blabbing for Britain, episode 77. It's Thursday, it's 10 o'clock, and good morning, John.
Good morning, Stephen. Peter.
And good morning, Peter.
Good morning.
All right, okay. Now, we've done the politics bit, so that's out of the way. Unless you want to have a word about politics, John, your current take on the situation. You don't. I know Peter doesn't want to talk about politics.
I'll just say one thing that came up in your last in Aberdeen City Council, Labour and the Conservatives have done a deal to have a coalition council, but all 9 Labour representatives have been suspended from the party by the party leader in Scotland. So that's going to be interesting times.
True.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, very strange situation to have.
Yeah. So they're not doing the party lines, it's suspended them all. That would be quite interesting. If we get 9, what they usually do is go independent when that happens. That I've noticed in the past. But anyway, that's enough about politics then.
Yeah. I'm going to hide that title. I got it wrong.
Oh.
Need to slow down a bit. Just to say that I'm not going to use it at the moment, but not straight away anyway. That Belive.tv has now got screen sharing,
right?
Which means that we can share any web page or any app from our desktops and broadcast it live. When we do that, we can do it full screen, and it works well, as we shall see later.
I saw Tina Shang demoing it at 1 o'clock this morning, our time.
All right, okay. Well, this is the first time.
She successfully got a video to run as well.
Oh, good. Well, that's good to know. Yes, I mean they released this and well, it works, and obviously
it had to come because we've been all waiting for it. All we need now is to get our own white, what do you call it? White label.
The white label, yeah.
And then that'll be us up and running. I'll be very happy with that. So I can put people's websites up in the show and let them see the website live, etc.
Yeah.
etc. Any videos that may have done if I've got the power for it.
Oh, excuse me.
Indeed. I mean, we're doing the Ask Angelica German lesson on Friday, and it's all about Formula One. So It's great to be able to share the Formula One website, and Vettel and everybody German involved in Formula One, because you can bring the broadcast to life rather than talking about something. You can actually show it.
Yeah, I think that's been a very good move on their part.
Yeah, they've got a great team over in Haifa in Israel, and they always surprise us. Things just come and we don't know what to expect, and they just release them.
You see, it's just a bit like Brexit, keeping things to your chest. We've all been asking for it, and we've got a good deal because they kept it to their chest. Nobody could spoil it. No spoilers out there. We asked, they said, we're not giving you an answer to that, basically. And then the hit is with it. So, yeah, take note.
Right, okay. Yeah. Right, Stephen came and went then. He was down in the lobby. So Stephen's on his way here as well.
Right, okay.
I'm just going to check that we're actually going out to Facebook because we don't appear at the moment.
I seen one there and then it disappeared. I'll just check.
I could not find the politics show for at least 5 minutes. After 10 or 10 at 9:30, or were you late starting?
We started a couple of minutes late, but I'm just wondering what's happened to the Blabbing for Britain show because. Oh, hang on. Oh, we're live. It's just not.
I can't see it.
Yeah, it's live, no problem. It's in LVF 17.
Oh, it's been shared then. All right, okay.
I shared it to LVS 17.
Yeah.
Episode 77.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah. I'm well, okay. To our one viewer, we'd like to say good morning, welcome. And if you have any comments at all, then please put them in the post on Facebook, and we'll bring them up on screen and highlight your picture and your name and your comment as well. This is Blabbing for Britain, episode 77. We've been doing this. Highlight your picture and your name. Oh, sorry, that was me. Right. Okay.
Something's on in the background.
Yes, that was me. That's John. Right. Okay. I think we'll.
What's me?
Right.
I'm looking at the BBC website, so I don't think it was me.
Oh right. Okay. Well, we've got an echo there from somewhere.
All right. I plead guilty to having zipped off for a minute, but only to see what the latest news was on the BBC.
Right. Okay.
Right. So all my other equipment's off. So sometimes I can cause echo with having Facebook on the same computer, and I use an open mic on the C920. So that's hence I've got this today. You know. Oh, yeah, another marketing business. It's a guy called Paul Harvey who's actually north of me. So, and he's using another system completely. And so it just shows you there are people out there who are doing this sort of thing that we do, but we don't know them and they don't know us. They don't know what system we're on, and they don't know. Now, you had a Mark on yesterday. Was it? What was the name of that Mark on yesterday?
Mark Lesmer. Both John and I know him from the academy days.
All right. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So Steve's Paul's a marketing guy.
Yeah.
And he's away north of Aberdeen, away up in the Murrayshire area. Mm-hmm. And he does, it's called marketing that. And so he actually put out a plea for people to be interviewed about their business, their life story, etc. And I think he got 0 replies. Well, it looked that way, so I got in touch, and he's got back in touch with me. So we're going to do that today.
We know the feeling of trying to get people involved in live video in the UK, don't we? It's very difficult. It's very difficult indeed. I mean, Mark, just on a whim, like I did 20 months ago, or 2 years ago, he just came on the screen. He just decided he was going to come and join us, and he did.
Yeah.
So now he's off and running. He'll be doing his own show. It's that first step of that sort of taking the plunge and going on the screen for the first time, which frightens the life out of a lot of people still.
I know I find it hard because I still find it hard. But as I say, people are still seeing it. And I think as broadcasters, I would call us now, wouldn't we? We have really got to repurpose our shows. We've really got to do that and get them out and get people. Even this is someone I interviewed this week. It was very interesting. Go and listen to their story. Just putting things out like that all the time and getting it out there. But I'm finding boosting's helped. So what I do now is I put a couple of quid into boosting. But what you've got to do with your boosts, you've got to capture their imagination. Why should I come and listen to your show?
Yep.
I've got a chap from who runs one of the best LinkedIn presentations I've ever seen. And he's agreed to come on. And what we're going to do is we'll probably do a taster, have a chat about it. And then I'm going to speak to him about seeing if we can run the show online. And people can pay for it because it was a very good course. So we'll get that done as well.
That's good. And how about your Monday show? How was that?
Who did I on? Well, it was a bit of somebody had to, couldn't manage at the last minute. Now this happens. So I just found someone else and didn't get time to publicise it, but it was Jay he's set up a computer tech business, and we spoke about the virus and also about his business. He's a guy from India that lives here in Aberdeen. And he come on, but that's what I'm finding hard now. Already I'm running out of people to come on the show. Now, what I'm finding in our community, I don't know about you, is we're getting people within the community. We've really got to go and get people out of the community. I was looking at Jackie Malpass today. I'll perhaps get you and give her a shout, and I'll get her on the show, because I will then put people, have you ever wanted to write a book and things like that? I'd learn from it, and I'm sure people would learn from it as well.
Yeah, I'll put you in touch with Jackie. She's very good on video, and no doubt she'll come on. I mean, I'm fortunate in that being on the Belive as moderators team, and I'm being on Belive weekly, I can now reach out to people and say, well, you know, I mean, the show I did with Tina, we're doing now with Tina Shang, who John just mentioned, on Tuesdays, which is about repurposing. That got off to a flying start. So that'll be back every week, because Across the Pond's taking a summer break. Leland and I are taking a summer break, but that gave me the Tuesday slot free. So I got to go with Tina, and we've got the repurposing show, which is going well. The other show that's going well is the new one that's on Wednesdays, and that is for One Stop Live. Basically, One Stop Live is a site where, right, okay. Now, we're getting people starting watching now. This is reassuring.
That's good.
It didn't share it out to my page, which is why? Right, okay. So that's obviously the key. The One Stop Live is basically if you've got services to offer as a show host or a show producer, or even as a guest, then you can put your profile up there, you can put your offerings, you decide the price, and then you get paid for actually broadcasting. And what happens is that if you say charge $50 an hour, you get your $50 from the person, and 10% commission from One Stop, so you end up with $45. Everybody's happy, and One Stop promote you as well. So it's a great place to get known, because they do active promotion of everybody who's on the site. So One Stop Live, Peter.
So you can set yourself up as like a facilitator, or do you want your program run and do you want me to question people on your behalf and stuff like that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, that's now's the time to say that one of my shows each week is paid for, which is good, which is progress. So I actually get paid for creating the show, which is one step forward. And that was via One Stop Live. So I can only attest that it works, and you do get paid, which is the major thing, of course, with going any of those sites. What happens to the money? Well, you get it into your PayPal account in minutes. All right, John. Hello.
Oh, good morning again.
Even in a minute, I'm going to drop down for a second or two. But what's happening in the Midlands or in gardening or?
Well, no, I've got one on my list I want to talk about, which is King William Alexander of Holland.
And on that note, I'm going to drop down because
it's quite interesting.
Stephen's nodding his head, you see. So
I don't know what Stephen's nodding his head for.
Because he understands. I think I know the story as well. Go on, tell the story.
This is about that he's actually a part-time pilot for KLM. He's the country's king, and he also flies people around on Fokker F-27s.
All right, okay, yeah.
And it's only come to light because he's been seen retraining for 737s. Right,
okay.
And they all wanted to know why the king was retraining on 737s. So I thought that was unusual. Okay, it's a bit like Prince
William,
Duke of whatever, and he's helicopter piloting, although he's retired from that as well now.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my little tidbit interesting story from Europe.
Well, the thing is, it's hard for these people. They're damned if they're doing, if they're damned if they don't. Because people say, he's never had a real job, him. He's doing a real job. Then it says, he shouldn't be taking that job. That's depriving somebody of a job. Because he's got plenty of money. So he maybe gives the money to charity. So they really are in a difficult position. And I know if you were to ask some of these, they've been cursed by maybe being a royal. Yeah. And but there again, they've got a life that other people would envy.
Well, his mum was famous for cycling everywhere.
Right, okay, yeah.
Queen Beatrix. She abdicated 5 years ago, I think it is, and passed the throne to him. And but before then, she was famous for being seen out on her bike, which, of course, every good Dutch person does anyway. They bike everywhere, don't they?
Yeah. Well, the Duke of Kent was in my regiment, and he was a tank soldier, not with me, for me. And at one time, I was talk of Prince William joining the regiment, which was the Royal Scots Dragoon Guards, but he joined the Household Cavalry instead, because Princess Diana's father served with the regiment too. He served with the Royal Scots Greys, and then they amalgamated with the 3rd Carbineers of Cheshire and Wales. But you didn't know that, did you?
Well, I knew that lots and lots of regiments have merged together, and lots of fuss over the Black Watch, etc.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Greys were actually Scottish, and the 3rd Carbineers were English, on the borders of Wales too. So that was quite interesting at the time, I do believe.
So what would you have done if Ms. Sturgeon had got away? Would you have split the regiment in half then and taken half of them back?
No, that's all. Well, that was a question that was always asked. I think the regiment on its own would have probably been finished, and they would have probably set up a Scottish Defence Force rather than an army as such. Anyway, it's not going to happen.
Talking of Nicola Sturgeon, and now I'm not talking politics here, did you see the big picture of her holding a bottle of red ketchup?
I've seen that
vaguely. Her red outfit.
All right. I've seen it vaguely this morning. Vaguely. Now, what's Mr. Silk saying in the background? He's dying to come in, I think.
No, I was just reflecting that we've lost another rock legend, Chris Cornell.
Oh, yes.
I'm afraid I've never heard of him.
Different shape.
I had to look up who he was.
I mean, I've got some friends down in London who are distraught about it because they sort of followed him, and been to his concerts and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
I don't know. It's really bad news. He's only 52, for Christ's sake.
I know, it's
craziness.
Yeah, life's getting on. We're getting older, as my cousin said to me one day. He says, we're all in the death zone. Thanks, I'm going in for an operation shortly. It's nice to know.
That's what
yeah. So at least the sunshine. It was a beautiful morning when I got up this morning here in Aberdeen. So I think the weather's turning up here. And I feel a better person when the weather's better. I don't know about you, but I think I suffer from sad, and I just love a bit of sunshine, getting up there and seeing the sun. Pity I can't go on the bicycle, but I've loved that too.
Really, Stoke-on-Trent, it's gorgeous out there at the moment. In fact, the beach and the waves are coming in gorgeous. It's just like being in the south of France or in.
Have you relocated to Trentham Gardens then?
Well, Trentham Gardens is expanding. There's a whole village of shops, and that's doubling in size probably in June this year. No, not far away then, but we tend to walk there as our sort of exercise thing. And it is stunningly beautiful around where Stoke-on-Trent is a stunning place to live, as more and more people are finding out. It's just wonderful. You know, we're 4 minutes by car, 10, 20 minutes we're at 10 minutes from the most marvellous woodlands. It's just wonderful. And I keep on putting posts up about the world of Wedgwood, which is just down the road from us. It's about a 20-minute walk. And we've got the canal, we go via the canal to get there. And it's just, it's a really nice, people in the past have sort of criticised Stoke for various reasons, but it's a beautiful place to be.
The check will be on its way from the Stoke Tourist Board, Stoke-on-Trent.
You should also be aware that we just put a fantastic bid in for City of Culture. I think it's 2021 City of Culture.
Right.
So, anything I can do to help that, I will do.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you some facts about Aberdeen. We won Britain in Bloom 9 times in a row, and then we were banned. Did you know that? We were banned because we were too good. We had the fish and chip shop in Aberdeen who won the best fish and chip shop 9 times in a row, and then they pulled out to give someone else a chance. And that's the Ashville chip shop. Send your check, guys. And so that's 2 things. We're the Granite City, and because we're made of granite mostly. And the last time they used granite in Aberdeen, they had to, because there's a granite quarry not far away from me, and the last time they had to get granite, they had to get it from Japan, because we don't mine granite anymore. It's called the Silver City. So when you're out to sea and you're coming to it and the sun's shining, the city would sparkle. So that's some facts about Aberdeen.
And they have the second best football team in Scotland.
They're doing very well at the moment, yeah. And I remember when they went to the European Cup final. That was. Do you know? I'm not a footballer man, as you know, but I'll tell you, the atmosphere in the city when they lifted that cup, it was fantastic. But they've got a ship here that takes people up north, and that ship was taken and put over to Norway. Was it Norway they went to? And all the little ships were waiting for them to come in, and all the fans. It was a fantastic day, great for the city. So football can do a lot for a city. And they've just went down to Ibrox and beat Rangers for the first time at Ibrox in 25 years. So they had a bit of fun with that as well. But hey guys, it took you 25 years. What took you so long? And, so we've got I know some Rangers supporters here as well, so it's quite friendly rivalries. Yeah, but football can do a lot for a city. It can uplift a city.
Place in Stoke. I mean, when we got promoted about 9 years ago, it's had an amazing effect on the area. It was
right.
It's I don't know why, but it just changed the mindset, I suppose. And we're still there. I think we're the 8th longest participant in the Premier League. Mm-hmm. In that Stoke, it's just wonderful. And of course, beautiful place to live. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yeah, talking of football, Forest Green Rovers, yes, a tiny little village club from Gloucestershire. They've got promoted to League Two.
Yes.
And their stand holds more people than there are in the village stroke town, whatever you want to call it.
Good luck to them, I say. Good luck to them.
I also read last week that someone's been promoted and the managers turned them into vegetarians.
Oh, that's the same club.
Is that the same club? So they're forcing them to eat meat-free pies, etc.
He's the I can't think of his name now, but he's a skinhead with a ponytail.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. And he runs a company called Ecotricity.
Right. Okay. So.
And everything He's into everything green. So the electricity at the club is provided by a windmill.
Wow. No, do you think that's fair to force the football players to go vegetarian?
No, it isn't quite as it sounds. On match days, there's no meat served. That's all.
Okay. Well, I can tell you, for a good period of time now, I haven't eaten any meat. Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
So
I think you have a few times because we talked about corn sausages.
Yes, or something. Corn, yeah. And I've actually, so it makes you look at your food and say, and I've got to say that I feel good. I feel good. And just watching what I mean. Some corn is good, some's not so good, but I've got Linda McCartney pies, etc. They're very good. I like them.
Text on the way, Pete.
Sorry?
Text on the way from the McCartneys.
Yeah, they're very good. What else? In Tesco's, I've got to say, hey, plug for Tesco. Tesco do some good ones too. And the milk,
At Forest Green Rangers, some of the players have gone totally vegetarian voluntarily.
Right.
But the whole thing is about being green, even though it's Forest Green Rovers. The players have company cars, which is quite unusual at that level, but they're all Nissan Leafs. They're all battery-powered cars.
Yeah.
When you drive up to the stadium, there's a row of Chargers.
Yeah.
Chargers.
Have you ever been in an electric car?
Nope.
They're so quiet, it's frightening.
That's right. And we've got a few of them here. And I spoke to a guy. So what do you think of these? And the city council used them. And this guy was a city council worker. And they encourage you to jump in. He says, where are you going? I says, I'm going up there. He says, jump in, I'll take you. I said, really? So I jumped in. And as a city council, the driver was telling me all about it. And he says, if anybody wants to run with you, take them in. And it's all insured. And he was telling me it was so quiet. You're right, too quiet. And you've also got hybrid ones because there's an eco club. And I thought the problem with them is very sometimes hard to book them in because they're so well used. You try to book it in advance, but other people have got them.
I've got to go, guys. I told the leader I've got to go build a screen of joy, and I'll see you soon, Stephen. If you want to take me out, that'd be cool, and speak to you all very soon.
Okay. Take care, Stephen.
So play with his pots of joy, did he say?
No, it's screens of joy.
Screens of joy. Yeah.
Screens of joy is what he's into. Right. Okay. Now we had technical difficulties this morning insofar as Live Leap, which I used to share out the show here, there, and everywhere, didn't kick in, which means that the three of us are on our own, and
all right,
just got the one person watching.
Interestingly, Stephen, the share I did to LVS 17 did not post up until I said it was not spam.
Oh, right.
Facebook says, we suspect this is a spam post. Can you confirm you made the post?
Oh, right. Oh dear. Well, that would explain it, wouldn't it? That's why it didn't fire, because when Lively was sharing it out, it couldn't respond to the comment. And your post has gone, by the way. If you want to take a look in LVS 17, you'll see the only one that's there is mine at the moment. Mm-hmm. I said, this is a mystery.
The Mr. Ons.
The Mr. Ons, yes. Captain Scarlet.
The voice of the Mr. Ons.
Yeah, has your post disappeared, John?
No. Oh. I can see it.
In the LVS 17 group?
Yeah.
I can see Stephen Healey shared Blabbing for Britain's live video, and that was 5. Where's the second one?
Well, yours is first and mine is second.
Yeah. Something going on here. This is not usual. No, I can only see one copy, John, because underneath mine is Tina's from 13 hours ago. We have a definite mystery here. So I have to have a word with the guys at Live Leap when they wake up and find out what's going on, because obviously Facebook have taken exception to sharing things.
Ah, right, okay. See, how's this is one of the problems, right? When you rely on two platforms. Okay?
Yeah.
And this is why I don't go into other people's directory with my business. People phone me up, oh, we'll get you on here, we'll get you so high up, and I say, listen, no, I'd prefer to get me high up on my own directory. Yeah, the Peter Stewart directory of what I do. And this is one of the problems of, should you really, don't listen on Facebook, should you really get them to your own platform long term?
No. Well, no. Would people go out to your own platform? I mean, you can embed the broadcast to your own platform now and send people there to listen to it, but they can't. Yeah. And we just had confirmation from Stephen Bray that John's post is invisible, apart from to John.
Right.
Now, whether this, what's the sharing settings on it in LVS 17, John?
I don't know.
All right.
The same in Blabbing for Britain as well. It's only visible to me. It's got a padlock in the top corner.
Can you change it?
No.
Right. Okay. We're victims of a Facebook change.
Okay. Without telling you. Well, I think if I was Facebook, I would be very protective of me too. Yeah?
Yeah.
Because I think they'll be coming along with their own platform at one stage where they won't need anybody else's platform.
Well, I mean, they've got a long way to go, because we've now got photographs and screen sharing on Belive.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
so. They're so far ahead.
So, right, okay, here's a question for us.
Yeah.
I've often thought about us. Look at our age group. How many people are sitting in their homes lonely and would love to come up and get it off their chest? We find these people to get them to link to us, over 50s group, old age pensioners groups, disability groups, disabled groups, to get them focused and say, come in and have a chat, get lonely people out there involved with this. What could we do to get that done? Stunned silence.
Sorry. We're both investigating in the background with this mysterious.
Okay, folks, if you're looking in, I'll keep you entertained while they play it.
I'll put you up main screen, Peter. It's just no, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, if you want to, no problem at all.
No. The thing is that yes, this technology is available to everybody, and it's just a question of letting people know it's available, and how easy it is to use. Because you said that the use for social sharing and social video between people who cannot get out of the house, but yet are more than capable of running a live or being part of a live broadcast, is there for community. This is community TV. If somebody in the community takes up the gauntlet and runs with it.
Well, why don't we all try in our own area to find maybe an over 50 group on Facebook in your own area each, and invite them, tell them, you want to get something off your chest, you want to talk about this, you want to talk about that, come in and have a chat with us every Thursday, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can issue invitations to groups.
Yeah.
Right.
Just try it with one group each, or you, I don't know. There must be people out there. Listen, when I've done similar to this on Pal Talk, right?
Yeah.
Many years ago, I used to be in a singing group, everything, and it was actually jam packed. It was real busy worldwide, and this will happen too. You know. It's just getting it out there.
It is. It's a question of getting the word out to people.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you've ever looked at Pal Talk itself, I mean, you want to see the communities there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Pal Talk is a thriving place, isn't it?
Yeah. I haven't been on it for years, you know. But it's just the same as the John Gaunt show. It's really building up too, and his own private radio show that has got no broadcasting regulations with it. It goes live every 4 o'clock. Guys, I can see you both working away there.
It's okay. I'm finished.
Sorry, Peter. It looks
an audience of one.
It looks like Facebook thinks I've been hacked. It's just made me change my password.
John, I got hacked this week on Facebook, and I had to go and change my password.
Yeah, well, it's just made me change mine.
It was a guy called, I think it was Peter Lawrence was the problem. Peter Lawrence. And so that's why I really don't accept anybody with a grey head or anything now.
Oh no, I agree, Peter. Yeah.
And search them out, and I'm going to put up a post. Maybe seen it. Don't accept. So I'm going to be. You often get somebody popped up, and if they've only got about 2 or 3, I don't know if you open it up and look at them. I don't know if that's them in, but certainly delete them right away now.
Yeah.
It is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
And if you're listening in Facebook, I've got to say that you really need to get a telephone number, because it was trying to get fixed out was atrocious. So make it easier for us. Make it easy on you.
It could be easier to contact support, because things can happen and you can't appeal against it. You can't contact anybody. You can't get a response. And
even if it was a live chat box like ManyChat or something like that, folks, you would do well. I do spend money with you. I pay for Facebook things.
Yeah. Morning, Marky. Nice to see you here with us. We're investigating this morning a phenomenon. I use LiveLeak to share. John shares manually, and our shares of our live videos are not going through. And John has just had to re-enter his, or change it. You change your password, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some security thing going on Facebook at the moment, which would stop the spread of live video, really. I mean, if you can't share it whilst you're live, then you're actually doing it for the replay. And the other thing is that with that, just on your page, then you're not going to get the audience. It's the ability to share it out to your personal page as well that brings people in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I'm just aghast that it went private, John, and was locked when you shared it. They're still working on it.
I'm just giving up with it.
And I've forgot my new password already.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
I've just committed the great sin. I've written it down.
Sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
I mean, I use LastPass, which means I only need to remember one password and panic when I forget that one.
I used to do a RoboForum, but what's to stop it getting hacked?
Well, that's true. That's true. I mean, I don't put any sensitive accounts in there.
No.
I would never put the bank account in there, for example.
I like the fact that the password to my bank account changes every time, and I have to use this.
Good. Yeah. I mean, that's security you've got to have on any account which links to your PayPal or your Stripe or your bank account. You've got total security on that, haven't you?
So no matter what you've got out there, people will be able to hack it. They're getting too clever. Look at the debacle with the NHS. Absolutely. My operation, it might be put back. It was in the papers yesterday, the operation I'm waiting for. It looks as though it may be put back. I didn't know it would affect me, but it looks as though it might. And I'm distressed.
Yeah, I mean, John, your thoughts on the hacking last week?
Well, it was interesting that, of course, the NHS still uses XP, and they refused to pay, or rather, the Health Directorate did not pay for any support for antivirus.
Yeah.
So all those XP machines out there are just vulnerable.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, they're not supported anymore, XP, aren't they?
No, not for almost 2 years.
Wow.
But the government did have a special deal that Microsoft... Yeah.
But that's for support. It's not for antivirus.
Yeah.
No, true. But, I mean... Yeah.
So, just breaking news there, guys. Breaking news. Rolf Harris is coming out tomorrow.
What, he's gay, you see? Oh, you mean he's coming out of prison?
He's coming out of prison tomorrow. Do you think he served enough time?
Well, they say he's not very well these days, so maybe
Do you know,
prison has driven him downhill.
I don't know if you know the guy called Crosley. Have you heard of him yet?
No.
If you look up Crosley, I don't know if you can share it. Now, he's a mentor of Brad Burton's. I think he made a lot of money in Australia. And he's a spitting image of Rolf Harris. And he just come on. I just got a notification there. And he's a mentor. Mm-hmm. And he's been on a show like The Dragon's Den. And he's like a mentor. And it's quite funny that he's popped up. And he does look like him. So Crosley is his name. And it's quite interesting that he's popped up because he was in the same agency as me, and they used him for, they were saying, "What do you mean there's no work for me?" And it was quite a funny thing actually. But there you go. So Rolf Harris is coming out of prison tomorrow. Is that breaking news?
That's definitely breaking news, Peter.
Yeah, is it?
I think so. I think so. What else is breaking news? Yeah, I'm just a bit miffed about all this this sharing thing because it has an effect on so many different things. Mm-hmm. Because you've got to spend the first 5 minutes of a show actually sharing things out rather than doing it automatically, and then you run the.
Yeah, even though I've redone my password, mine is still all locked and not visible.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've shared this manually in LBS 17 and onto my own business profile, and they went okay, and they are as far as public. I'm just going to check that it's actually gone to my page and it's public and people can actually see it. Yeah, it is set as public. So I've got a mystery. I'm going to speak to, I put a support request into Live Leap, but they're not awake until 1 o'clock our time. So we can't get anything out of them. I mean, I've no shows now until 4 o'clock, so I'm not unduly worried.
How far behind are they in the time then? What's their time zone?
They're 5 hours behind.
Wow, I didn't realise that. I thought they're not all that far away, are they?
The east coast of the States is 5 hours behind, the west coast is 8 hours behind, and the middle bit is between 5 and 8 hours behind. Depends where you actually are.
I thought they were Israel. Is it not Israel they're at?
Oh, sorry, no, not Be Live, Live Leap.
Oh, Live
Leap.
The
people who do the sharing. I'm going to mention to Daniel because obviously the CEO of Belive, I'll mention it to him. But it's not their responsibility really. It's something that Live Leap have got to sort out because Live Leap allows you to set up a route, and it says if I broadcast a video on Blabbing for Britain, then post it on my personal profile, post it on LVS 17. Post it wherever you want it to go,
Yeah.
And as soon as you go live, all the postings are done. Yep.
Yes.
Which means as a show host, you don't spend the first 3 or 4 minutes, so that you're actually talking to the audience, and the show is live from the moment you begin. That's the problem it solves. And it was doing it.
Does it also go to websites?
You can share it. You can send an alert to your website. It sends a tweet out on Twitter, and it will do a post on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay.
So
very good.
It is a very comprehensive program, but it's not triggering at the moment because of the problems that John's encountering, because Facebook have clamped down. And they are 5 hours behind, so we won't be able to wake them up till either 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock to find out what's going on. And of course, the Americans aren't broadcasting now because they're all asleep, so they won't be reporting any problems because they won't know about it.
Yeah.
So we're in a period where we know what's going on, and they're going to wake up and find out that there's a big mess being created. Because LiveLeap has got thousands of users. Yeah. All of whom pay $19 a month. Yeah.
Right. All right, to pay for it.
Oh, this is a business. This is a real business from the day it's set off. So you've got, even if you say 1,000 people are paying $19 a month, that's $19,000 a month they've got coming in. And if it doesn't work, their business has disappeared overnight. Yeah, because we just go back to the old way. Now that we know, if LiveLoop's not going to work, we can share it out 5 minutes before. Yeah, John does, and we can do it. But John's had problems sharing it, and that makes it even worse.
I think the issue I've got is different from your issue.
All right, okay.
Because I've changed my password. I've been able to successfully share it to LVS 17.
Right. Okay. Good. So people are seeing double, but
I must go, guys.
I'm going
to. Cheers, Peter.
Okay.
Right. So Peter's dropped down into the lobby. Whilst Peter's down the lobby, we can go to another option, which is to share the screen. And I'm just going to try and do that now. And I'm going to go full screen. And just to say, whilst John is looking around in the background, that Belive.tv now has screen share. I'm showing this live. We can go to the BBC website in the UK. We can go to news. And to show this is live, I'm going to go to sport as well. And back again to Formula One. Okay, and Alonso is actually in Indianapolis at the moment, so Jenson Button will be driving in Monaco. Next Formula One race is in Monaco. And we can go back to the news. And in the news today, Tory manifesto is due to be launched. And Rolf, as Peter said, Rolf is to be freed from jail, so we can see that in print too. And we can check out the latest tech news. So what it means is that if you're running a show which you want to show websites, or you want to share your desktop, or you want to share any app, then you can do that. And I'm going to do the acid test in a moment, and John will confirm whether you can actually hear this or not. I'm going over in the background to the YouTube site and go to YouTube and back to BBC News. So we can now explore websites live. You can talk about them. You can hear me. You can hear John. Hello, John.
Hello.
Right. So, okay. I was just making sure we both have sound.
Is that full screen? Is that full screen?
It is. It is full screen. So anybody watching will not see you and I. Well, we'll see you and I now because
both of you and the.
Yeah, that your view is different, and I'm just going to go to my channel on YouTube, and we'll see if this works. I've got lots of pictures of Steve Aitchison there, a very popular guy, 3.4 million followers on Facebook, and he was on the Belive.tv show a couple of weeks ago, and the show had an audience of 42,000. Though it has to be said, now that we're down to Ross hosting the show and myself and Jeff Brand doing guest spots, this week's show had 10,000 views. So it shows what's possible.
Jeff's not the host now.
Jeff is the host, we're co-hosts.
All right.
Was that, unless you were stating fact?
No, you said Ross Brand hosted the show and
no,
and you appeared on it then. Don't worry about it. Just get on.
I'll clarify that. Once my YouTube's going exceedingly slow at the moment. I'm probably going to get an advert, which will I can't do that. I've got to swap back. One of the things that you've got to be wary of.
You've done a video on the BBC channel.
I've got to find one first, so I'll do that later. But there's enemy watching, but I don't want to run the risk of in these uncertain times is actually playing an advert in a broadcast, because that would most definitely get us taken off air, because Facebook wouldn't like that at all, would they?
No.
So that's it. With YouTube with ads is a problem. So I'm going to practice on that, and yeah. Okay. Well, that worked well. Screen share is working well. You also got the photos as well. So a lot of the only limit now is your own imagination. You can go and broadcast anything from your desktop and from just closing things down. You can broadcast anything from your desktop live to Facebook. Just be aware of copyright issues though, and always give attribution when you are sharing. When I did the politics show, I didn't show it. Add attribution in, because that's the thing, isn't it, John? You can't just share content willy-nilly, even though it's public.
You've got to be really careful. Although if you're showing a web page, then I don't think you're doing anything wrong anyway, because anybody could get to that web page anyway, couldn't they?
They could, yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Well, this morning has been different.
It's in the public domain if it's on a web page.
Well, that's true. That's true, but it's not inside Facebook. I don't know. We need some clarification on this. I think Belive have got to come up with some as well, because you can share your desktop. What you're more likely to share is a web page, and obviously some web pages lend themselves better to sharing than others. I mean, if you just share, let's just take devil's advocate position. If you just share Google Plus, how would Facebook view that? If you were giving a lecture about Google Plus, it's ideal for giving lectures. And hello, Michelle. We've been exploring this morning the great sharing mystery on Facebook. Something seems to have happened overnight, which affects sharing. And this is not that we need the shares, but if you could just try, Michelle, if you could just try and share the post, we'd be most grateful, because we've been having problems this morning. So if you could take a moment and just share, then that would be good, and we can see what happens. And when you do share, can you see whether that your share is public or not? Because we've got a bit of a mystery on our hands about Facebook sharing, and it's going to affect a lot of people, and we want to try and get to the bottom of it, so that when Leap, who automatically should come online, we can help in the investigation. And just in time for the end of the show, almost. Right, thank you, Michelle. That's very helpful. I was using Live Leap to share earlier, and it didn't share. It normally shares to my personal profile and to my Stephen on Video Facebook page and to the LVS 17 group. It didn't do any of those. So we're just trying to work out exactly what's happening. Problem we have at the moment, of course, is that Live Leap are based in the States, and therefore 5 hours behind us. and won't discover this till 8 o'clock because nobody's mentioned it so far. And the big news that we had earlier is that you can now, whilst you just joined us, Michelle, you can now screen share on belive.tv, and you can flick about screens and you can talk about them.
Is it worth trying one of those little videos that was on that BBC page?
Okay, just a minute. Let me go with you a minute, Peter. We're just going to
Page
video.
before it was.
News, yep, okay.
If you go back page.
Yep. Right, so...
they're not on there. Oh, yeah, that's a video, isn't it? Look, it's got an arrow on it with the woman there.
Okay. So 5 reasons you should register to vote. And I'm going to play the video.
Well, I can't hear any volume, but...
Right. Okay, I'm going to...
Is the speaker X'd?
It's going into my headphones, isn't it?
Is that what it is?
I think so. I'll stop that now, but it'll just show you can play video.
We just can't hear it.
Just can't hear it. If you're playing video from... we need to investigate that. Right, and Michelle's confirming there's no sound. And you saw Peter getting ready. That was interesting.
Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that things went a very big bang in Birmingham this week.
Okay. Yep.
Well, the city centre and outlying areas were brought to a total standstill on Monday morning when a bomb was found from the Second World War.
Oh.
And it took them 2 days to deal with it. And so it was closed for 2 days.
Wow.
Which drove lots of traffic off the M6 onto other roads into Birmingham. So we had mayhem for 2.5 days. But the army built an igloo of sand round it before they blew it up. Mm-hmm. And you know these 1 metre square bags that people deliver sand in?
Yeah.
Well, they had the metal equivalent of those, and they built a pyramid of those over the top of the bomb before they blew it up. It still blew all the windows out the nearest building, but it didn't damage any more serious damage than that.
Right.
They've been there since. They even know the date on which it was dropped, which is quite amazing. It had 135 kilograms of explosives inside this particular bomb. The bomb itself weighed 350 kilograms. So Birmingham was disrupted since about 10 o'clock Monday morning through till Wednesday morning.
Well,
something went wrong.
Whatever those guys are paid, it's not enough.
No, I couldn't believe these guys. They're there in a bomb with a digger, which they're using as a crane to and they're just walking around in boots and t-shirts.
Brave people.
Indeed. Right, any final thoughts, Peter, before we leave Blabbing for Britain until we reach episode 78 next Thursday, when things will have settled down a bit? And we'll get our audience.
No, fine. I'm a bit of a bewilderment today. I've actually been up all night. I'm getting really restless nights, and by night time comes, I'm absolutely exhausted. So I go to my bed early, and I'm waking up early. So I go to my bed early and I'm waking up early.
Up early. Yeah, it's a circle. Yeah.
So, yeah. So all I can say is, folks, is have a great week. Hopefully see you in my show Monday night, 7 o'clock. If you want to be a guest, come up, because I'm looking for a guest. It really is getting harder to get people to come on the show. I'm going to have to branch out shortly and leave Aberdeen, because we're so shy, and break out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a great week.
John. Right. And John?
Yes.
Your outro.
My outro. Oh, well, it's goodbye from me.
Thoughts and outro then.
Goodbye from him. I'd just like to say, have a really nice day, because the sun is shining. And after the amount of rain we had yesterday, where last night I had to go around emptying flower pots because everything was flooded, I'm hoping for some nice sun to burn off all the water that's flooding the plants. So have a nice day, enjoy the sun, and it's goodbye from me and him and him and him.
Goodbye, everybody. See you next week. Take care. Thanks
Bye-bye.
for watching.